Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at the CSEC Principles of Accounts, May June 2017, paper 1. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you know when any new video is being uploaded. So I want to extend my appreciation too for all the loyal subscribers who have been watching my content. Thank you so much for your support. Also, give this video a thumbs up and please watch the ads that you see played on the videos. Now, let us get into this paper. Now, there are quite a few questions that have been repeated, but there are few that is not. So I'll be just going through this paper quickly because some questions have been repeated. The first one says, accounting is the process of, well, we know what that is. One says gathering and recording information. Two says raising of funds for a business. Three, providing information which influences decisions. So the answer is 1 and 3 only. Gathering and recording information and providing information which influences decisions. So 2 would not be a part of it. So B would be our answer. 2 says, which of the following groups of persons may be least interested in using accounting information and determine how well businesses are managed? So we know that is D, customers. So D would be our answer. 3 says, which of the following states the correct order of the stages in the accounting cycle before final accounts? The correct one in order, it should be D, journalizing, then posting to ledger, then trial balance. So D would be our answer. So we are going to go to question number 4. Says, which of the following terms is described in documents showing exchanges of goods and services? That is B, transaction. Let's go to question number 5. It says, uh, and number 4, looking back at number 4, this is quite a little question that has been quite problematic. So the way how CXC structure it, that's the best answer that we could select. So there's, a little error in the way how the question is structured. Let's go to 5. It says, a balance sheet serves the purpose of, we know the answer is A, showing the values of assets, liabilities, and capital. 6 says, which of the following are examples of current liabilities? 1, mortgages. 2, accounts payable. 3, accrued wages. The answer is C, 2 and 3 only. Let's go on to number 7. Which of the following accounts is made up of real accounts only? We know it is B. We had explained in previous video what are real accounts, so we don't have to go through that again. So the answer would be B, equipment, furniture, vehicles, and plants. 8 says, which of the following list of current assets is arranged in order of liquidity from least to most liquid? This has been another repeated question. 8, inventory, accounts receivables, prepayments, bank cash. D. Let's go on to question number 9. The cash book is best used for recording D, cash receipts and cash payments. 10 says, A poor tab bought goods for $500 on credit. In which book of prime entry will this be recorded? Is it A, purchases journal, B, sales journal, C, general journal, or D, cash book? We know it is A, purchases journal. Let's go on to number 11. It says, a businessman offers a discount for prompt payment for goods purchased. Under which column is in its 3-column cash book would this be entered? The answer is C, discount allowed. 12 says, R. Stevens, a petty cashier, receives a float of $350. He spends $320 out of this and requests that his float be increased to $400. If his request is granted, how much will he receive? So first he got 350, then he spends $320 from that. So we're left with $30. And then he requests his float to be increased to $400. So we would deduct $30 from that $400. So if his request is granted, then how much will he receive? He will receive $370. So C would be our answer. 13 says, an article is subject to a 20% trade discount. Its list price is $600. What is its sale price? Now, we know after we find 20% of $600, that would give us $120. And then we deduct that $120 from $600. We're left with $480. So B would be our answer. Let's go on to number 14. 14 says, the total credit of the bank column of a 3-column cash book is greater than the total debit. The most likely result for this situation is that, is it A, there was an overdraft, B, transactions were omitted from the debit side, C, some figures were overstated on the credit side, or D, the incorrect transactions were entered on the credit side? We know it is A, there was an overdraft. 15 says, an expenditure which is written off entirely to the income statement is known as, we know that is known as revenue expenditure. So C would be our answer. 16 says, which of the following best describes the double entry system of accounting? So we have to be very careful with this one because the answers, you'll find that some answers are very close. A says, a ledger account must have 2 sides. B, an account must be written twice in the ledger. C, each transaction must be written in 2 subsidiary books. D, each transaction must have a debit entry and a credit entry. So we know it is D. Each transaction must have a debit entry and a credit entry. Let's go to 17. A businessman incurred the following expenses: factory repairs $6,000, machine repairs $2,000, new machinery $3,000, new vehicle $7,000. What is the total capital expenditure? This question has been another one that has been repeated. We know, always ask yourself, so what is capital expenditure? We know capital expenditure is when a business spends money to buy or adds value to a fixed asset. So looking at this, we know new machine and new vehicle would be our capital expenditure. So when we add those two figures, $3,000 plus $7,000, we get D, $10,000. Let's go on to number 18. It says, Mr. Abel and Mr. Blue purchased goods valued at $50 and $75 respectively from Mr. Kane on credit. Another customer paid cash for goods amounting to $550. Mr. Kane took goods at cost for himself amounting to $500. Which of the following figures represents a total in Mr. Kane's sales account? So we know $50 would be in his sales account, right? He purchased goods that is $50 and $75 good, and another customer paid him cash for goods $550. Yes, that would be a part of it. So those 3 figures would give us $675. So that would be in Mr. Kane's sales account. Now, this portion of the question that says Mr. Kane took goods at cost for himself amounted to $500. We know that would be drawing, so that would not be a part of his sales book. So the answer is C, 675. Let's go on to number 19, sorry. Which of the following accounts are usually transferred to the income statement? We know it is D, commission received, rent, and purchases. 20 says, when current liabilities are subtracted from current assets, the result is termed, is it A, cash balance, B, capital owned, C, working capital, or D, capital employed? We know it is C, working capital. Go on to 21. 21 says K Khan, a debtor of A and B Enterprises, settles his debt of $120 less 2.5% discount by check. How should the double entry be recorded in the books of A and B Enterprises? Is it A? Well, first of all, let's look at it. So we know we would first have to find out how much discount he got. We would first have to work out that. So obviously, if he got a discount, we know that would be discount allowed. So the discount allowed would mean that we would find 2.5% of $120. And that would give us $3. So the discount allowed would be $3, and that would be debited. Now, Mr. K. Khan, a debtor of A and B Enterprise, settle his debt. So K Khan is, we would credit K Khan in the books and debit bank. So we're looking for that. So the bank amount would be the discount allowed that is deducted from the amount that he had in debt, which is $120. So $3 from $120 would give us $117. That would be debited to bank. So we're looking for that. So our answer would be C, debit bank $117, debit discount allowed $3, credit cake and $120. So C would be our answer. Items 22 to 23 refer to the following information. A calculation to determine gross profit percentage is as follows. So we have 185,530 divided into 529,800 multiplied by the percent 100. So the 529,819 here, we know that represents total sale. This has been another question that has come back. 23 says 185,530 represents, we know that represents the gross profit. That is the one that was below, on top, sorry, this figure. Let's go to 24. Item 24 refers to the following information. So here we have machinery account 4,000, stock account 3,000, and purchases account $1,000, sales account $5,000, capital account $3,000. 24 says the above balances appeared in the ledger of Mrs. G. Dalton. What is the total of the trial balance? So, okay, the trial balance. So we know sales credited $5,000, okay. Then purchases account, that is 1,000 debit. Machinery account, that is $4,000. Stock account, that is debited to. Stock account, stock is 3,000 debit, and capital 3,000, that's credit. So our two credit figure, sales 5,000 and capital, when we add those two, 5,000 and 3,000, we get $8,000. Our debit side, purchases machinery and stock, when we add those together, we get $8,000. So the total of the trial balance is D, $8,000. Let's go on to number 25. The working capital of A. Young and Sons is $15,500. The total amount of current assets is $16,500. What is the total amount of current liabilities? So we know that the working capital is equal to the assets less liabilities. So to find liabilities, we would just flip where we have liabilities previously for the equation to how to find working capital and replace that with capital. So a new equation would be assets minus capital. So that's 16,500 deduct 15,500. When we subtract that, we are left with $1,000. So A would be our answer. 26 to 27. Item 26 to 27 refers to the following table, which shows a trader's operation at the end of the trading period. So we have sales 83,868, sales returns 1,570, discount allowed 911, inventory at start 9,850, inventory at close 11,075, purchases 52,640, purchases returned 762. So our trading profit and loss account. So it says, what is the cost of goods sold? So we know with our sales, that is 83,868 that is credited. And we had this question on previous past papers. So we would less our sales return from that 1,570 and we would get 82,298. That's our total sales. Then we less our cost of goods sold, or we now have our opening stock inventory at start 9,850. Then we're going to add purchases 52,640. So when we add those two together, we get 62,490. Then we're going to less purchases returns. It's the same. Purchases returned 762 from 62,490. We're left with 61,728. Then we're going to less our closing stock 11,075 from that. And our cost of goods sold would be 50,653. So right there, our cost of goods sold is 50,653. Good. So B would be our answer. 27 says, what is the gross profit? We know to find our gross profit, we deduct our cost of goods sold from our total sales, which is our cost of goods sold is 50,653, and we deduct that from total sales, 82,298. We get 31,644. So that is our gross profit. Let's go to 28. It says in the balance sheet, expenses owing will be listed as, we know it would be listed as fixed assets. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Incorrect. C, current liabilities. So let me read that question again. It says in the balance sheet, expenses owing will be listed as current liabilities. 29 says a debt is considered a bad debt if the debtor, what would be your answer? If a debtor fails to pay. So B would be our answer. 30 says, how does an increase in bad debts affect a sole trader's financial statements? Is it A, increases the net profit, B, decreases the net profit, or C, increases the gross profit, or D, decreases the gross profit? We know it is B, decreases the net profit. Let's go on to 31. We'll be stopping at question 34. 31 says, the gross profit of a firm is $7,200. Bad debts are $200. Insurance paid is $1,240, which includes a prepayment of $40. What is the net profit of the firm? So our income statement. So okay, we have our gross profit $7,200. So we're going to less our expense. Okay, so bad debts, we have bad debts 200. Then we have insurance 1,240, and there was a prepayment of $40. So we deduct $40 from that 1,240. We're left with $1,200. So when we add our insurance, $1,200 plus our bad debts, 200, that's $1,400. That's our total expenses. And then we deduct that $1,400 from the gross profit, 7,200. We're left with C, 5,800. Let's go on to 32. 32 says control accounts are needed to. Well, we have to think about what's the purpose of control accounts. Is it A, locate errors, B, calculate ratios, C, calculate profits, or D, record opening entries? We know the answer would be A, locate errors. So control accounts are needed to locate errors. And if you recall, the main uses of control accounts, we know one, to help prevent or detect errors in the books. So that's how we selected the answer A. Also, the uses of control accounts too, it is used to assist with the speedy preparation of the trial balance. That is providing urgent information relating to debtors and creditors. Also, it is used, the control account is also used to assist with the preparation of final accounts from incomplete accounts. Another use of the control account is that it is used to help prevent fraud by bookkeepers. So those are some uses that the control account is being used for. It also is used to um, help to prove that the entries in the individual accounts and their final balances are correct. So those were some of the uses, just a way of reminder of why the control accounts are needed. 33 says, which of the following is a type of control account? A, cash book, B, balance sheet, C, general journal, or D, suspense account? The answer is D, suspense account. So D would be your answer. 34 says, cash sales were not entered in the books. There is an error of A, omission, B, principal, C, commission, or D, complete reversal. We know it is A. It is an error of omission. So there we have it. This is part 1 of the CSEC Principles of Accounts, May, June 2017, paper 1. Stay tuned for part 2. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, press that like button and share it so that you know when new videos, and turn on your notification bell so you know when new videos are being uploaded. And remember to watch the ads. Thank you so much for watching.